September 26th, 2019. Joe here, Simple Life Show. SimpleLifeRemedy.org is a website. Thanks, everybody, for joining me today. Obviously, everyone is up in arms about the climate. We've seen that over the last few months, last couple years. Of course, we've seen this over and over and over again with this climate change. Now, it is a debate, no matter what you want to believe. There is a debate going on. It's not so much that the climate is changing. I believe the climate is changing. I think that we're getting a little bit warmer. I think we're getting a little bit colder. I think the climate changes here and there. I think that we go through a lot of different changes, of course, with the climate in the world. There is nothing about the climate that is stable, and it's not supposed to be stable. Okay, that is a lie that's been perpetuated for a long time, and it's causing a lot of anxiety. It's causing a lot of kids to have to go on anti-anxiety medication, and that is just kind of ridiculous. I mean, we've seen all these movies coming out, and some of them are good, some of them are bad. Of course, we've seen a lot of the big ones: Armageddon, Deep Impact, The Road. A lot of these movies that are apocalyptic, doomsday types of scenarios. And it seems like every movie that comes out, even the Marvel movies that are coming out, any kind of superhero movies, it's always about the end of the world. It's always about climate change. Of course, most of the stuff I'm seeing right now is off B movies and stuff like that, old, late at night sci-fi movies. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's really common to be human, to think about the future and think about your own fate, your own demise and stuff like that. Of course, the liberals will have you believe that everything that we do in this life that's all there is, that we only have this one life. Of course, I'm a religious person. I'm spiritual. I believe there's more to life than this. I think that being simply grounded to the earth and believing the earth that this is all there is the religion of the left. And it's always been the religion of the left. It's materialism. It's a love of the self. It's humanism. And every time that there is some sort of kind of, type of problem going on, or any kind of like hurricane or natural disaster, these things happen. They've been happening all throughout time, but we only see them through the lens of today, and the fact that we have all these material possessions. We have a lot of these urban cities that if they get hit, there's going to be a lot of casualties. It happens with earthquakes too. You see a lot more damage because there's a lot more infrastructure now. It's not that things are getting worse. It's just that we have so much invested in our urban areas that when they do get hit, it looks like it's so bad, but it's just a natural event that happens. Hurricanes, earthquakes, they're going to keep happening. It's not any kind of signal that the world is about to end, and that's what that's what we get from the movies that we watch, and that's what we get from the leftists and propaganda from the progressive left every single day. And it's getting so bad that it's harming the children to where they have to have anti-anxiety medication. Shrinks are treating climate traumatized kids for eco-anxiety. Of course, the planet's on fire, and so is our hair, and there's nothing we can do about it. And the kids are watching a lot of these movies. They're listening to our leaders, and here more recently, of course, we all heard Ocasio AOC say the world was going to end in 12 months. Prince Harry says, or actually it's not Prince Harry, but it's actually Prince Charles, who recently came out, says we only have 18 months to save the world. I don't know where he's getting that information from. I don't know if he has a crystal ball and he is just, he has access to the future. Of course, they've been saying this for a long time, for decades and decades and decades. We were already supposed to be dead by now. We were already supposed to all be dead by the year 2000, and this is just getting ridiculous. The world's not ending. This is just another fad that's going on. Yes, we should not be polluting the atmosphere. We should try to, lessen our carbon footprint, obviously. But running around with our hair on fire and spending trillions of dollars and making the situation even worse is not the answer either. I think that you can agree with me on that. But Prince, the Prince Charles, is warning us that in 18 months we're all going to be dead. Yeah, whatever. 18 months we'll still be around. The only thing that's going to kill you is some it's congestive heart failure, obesity, diabetes, or something like that. That's the only thing that's probably going to kill you. Or drunk driving, or someone's out there just drinking and driving, or doing drugs and stuff like that. That's what you really need to worry about as far as any type of thing that's going to kill you. Not an asteroid that's going to just land on your head. Yeah, an asteroid could hit us, yes. But if the thing is, if we have to worry about every single thing that could happen, we wouldn't be able to get out of bed. But Prince Henry can't get out of bed either because he suffers from eco-anxiety. Prince Henry, of course, has a wonderful life, a beautiful wife, has everything handed to him, but he can't get out of bed because he has eco-anxiety, which is a made-up disorder. It's a real disorder, whatever. I mean, all it really is just anxiety. It's anxiety about the future. And what do you think anxiety is? It's anxiety about the future. It's worry about the future, stuff we can't control. We can't control any of this stuff. We really can't. And this is becoming an epidemic. And this is something that, we really have to, we need to take a look at. And at the heart of that is Greta Thunberg. Of course, we've seen her over and over the past few weeks or so.
Let's be honest.
The United States will withdraw from the Paris Climate Accord.
In the current political environment, it's hard to be a climate warrior. Any anxiety you're feeling about where the planet is headed is totally normal.
Feelings of fear.
My generation is facing a future of economic instability,
Uncertainty
food scarcity, extreme weather events,
and helplessness.
and we, the children, are desperate.
Emma Lim is pledging not to have children. As the impacts of a changing climate creep closer, a recent American survey found most teenagers are frightened, and a growing number of young people around the world are being treated for eco-anxiety.
Yeah, eco-anxiety, that's what's happening right now. And a lot of the children right now are coming out, a lot of them 13, 14 years old, where they shouldn't even really be thinking about sex right now or procreating at all. They're saying that they're not going to have sex, or obviously they shouldn't be, or have children until this whole thing is solved, right? When is that going to be solved? I mean, what is their definition of a solved climate? So it's just this false utopian type of standard that keeps ruining it for everyone else, because we will never be able to live up to those standards, and we all know this. We all know that no matter what we do, we're not going to be able to live up to some sort of utopian standards that the left is trying to propagate, because they know that we won't be able to do that. I don't know. I mean, you tell me.
What is it that makes you anxious? What are the thoughts, or what are the details that when you go there, that's when you touch your anxiety?
I just keep thinking about a small child, probably myself, and I just think about how innocent I'm emotional already. That memory I have of being a child, and it's so valuable. And I just think about all the people that don't have that preciousness about the world, and I think that's a privilege that is just disappearing.
I'm not really sure what's really going on right now with the psychology of people. I think that we're reaching a breaking point. I think that we've seen this not only in Hollywood and the movies. I think a lot of stuff's coming out where there's a lot of hypocrisy going on with, how it's immoral to use a plastic straw because it's harming the environment. But you have pedophiles in Hollywood that are literally ruining the lives of children right now. But they want to be climate warriors against an unknown, undefined enemy that is ruining the lives of all the children. That is not ruining the lives of all the children. What's ruining the lives of all the children is exposing them to all this immorality that the left is actually proposing right now. That's actually that they're pushing into everyone's lives right now. We can't let kids be just kids. No, we have to use them as weapons to forward an agenda. And that agenda is all about making changes, right? But we don't want to define exactly what those changes are, because save the children, right? We just want to save the children. We want to use them as pawns whenever it is convenient for our political purposes. And this is something that needs to change immediately. Of course, if you haven't seen Greta's video, I'm sure you probably have. I'll go ahead and play it now.
This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words, and yet I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering. People are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth.
All right, so we really need to just kind of break down what she's saying here, and I'll just kind of break it down. The first thing that she says is that we came to the young people for help. What do we come to the young people for help for? That's what I really want to know. I mean, that's something that just doesn't make any sense to me. I love all the children out there. I really wish they would just stay in school and learn more about science. They would learn more about how to live a productive life, and and skip all of this propaganda and all of this fear mongering about their own future, because that is what's really messing everything up. You're going to look back in 20 years at what's going on right now as some sort of cult movement that really screwed everything up in the 21st century. Hopefully we can look back and we can see that, of course, the real culprit here behind all this is Greta's parents. We have to really look to the parents to see what's really going. Of course, Greta's parents are they're Antifa supporters. And we see that, you know, with her wearing the Antifa shirts, also her parents wearing the Antifa shirts. Of course, they had said that they were just borrowing it. She said she just borrowed it from a friend. I guess her friends are her parents, right? I mean, that's just, you know, this is getting really scary, people. And, you know, yeah, she has Asperger's syndrome, and I feel bad for her. I am not attacking Greta because I feel bad for her. I'm attacking her parents. I'm attacking the left. I'm attacking George Soros. I'm attacking the progressive left agenda for this phony climate change hysteria that's going on that needs to stop immediately. Yes, do we need common sense carbon emission regulations? Absolutely. We do. But do we need to light our hair on fire and give away all of our rights? Do we need to stop eating? We need to start eating. I almost cursed there. Do we need to stop eating meat completely? Is that going to really change anything? Absolutely not. That is not going to change anything. Do we need to sell our Hummers? Do we need to sell our cars and go ride bicycles? Is that going to change much? Absolutely not. It will not. There's been plenty of scientific journals and studies that have gone on that all of these changes that are being proposed, all these expensive changes, have extremely high exponential diminishing returns. That they will do nothing besides make other people suffer, especially people in the third world. They're going to suffer even more along with everyone else. But I guess that's all in the name of keeping everybody equal and everybody miserable. Isn't this just part of the whole scheme to keep everyone miserable? I mean, it's just getting ridiculous. I really don't understand what's going on here, but, you know, it really needs to stop. We need to take everything into perspective here. You know, people like Prince Harry and Prince Charles, they need to shut up about how the world's going to end. AOC needs to shut up about how the world's going to end. It's not going to end in 12 years. Plenty of scientists would agree with me on that. In fact, the majority of them do. The world's not going to end in 12 months or 12 years. What did he say? 18 months? I don't know. You know, what's really funny, though, is that Greta and her parents are from Sweden, right? And I'm sure that her parents probably put her up to this, or she has her own handlers. I mean, you can see her with the same persons every time she's anywhere. Of course, she's gone back to Sweden now. Maybe she'll just fade to obscurity. Hopefully, she can go back to being a normal child after being used and abused by the left. But it's really funny, though, that her parents are anti-fascist when Sweden, during World War II, was one of the biggest supporters of Hitler. They had no place, and they did not take any part in the war against Hitler and fascism and Nazism and all that kind of stuff. In fact, they provided a lot of safe travel and routes for the Nazis through Sweden. They provided training. They provided all kinds of stuff for the Nazis. And I think it's really funny that these parents of hers are anti-fascist, right? Maybe they're trying to turn a new leaf. I don't know. But I tend not to take, I tend to pretty much take everything that comes from the Nordic countries with a grain of salt, because they just don't know anything up there. They are just, they don't, I'm not saying they're stupid. I'm just saying that they didn't participate in all of this stuff when we were fighting Hitler. And we were the ones that, and the Allies were the ones that stopped that progression from happening, not any of the Nordic countries, especially not Sweden. So I'm just going to include my rant there. I think everybody needs to put their hair out. This is not a climate crisis. We are not in the middle of a climate crisis. We're definitely not in the middle of an eco disaster where whole colonies of animals and stuff and we're not in the middle of a mass extinction. Okay, I've talked about this before. That is a huge hoax. Okay, not, the whole thing is a huge hoax. If you want to look back at some of my videos, I do talk about this at length. I'm not going to get into it right now, but we are not in the middle of a mass extinction. Until next time, this is Joe with Simple Life Show. Have a great day.